to Storrs, Connecticut, the home of the #1 team in the nation. The UConn Huskies taking on 9th-ranked Michigan State. We've just moved inside of the 10-minute mark of the first half, and the Huskies lead 17-15. Jim Nance and Billy Packer courtside at Gampbell Pavilion. As Michigan State's All-America guard, Mateen Cleaves, that was a three that would have given them the lead. Early in this game, Michigan State went on an 11-point run to lead 11-2, making their first 5 field goals. Then the Spartans cooled off, making only 1 of their next 10 shots from the field. And now it's an 18-15 UConn lead with 9:10 remaining first half. Huskies in the home white, kick it out, penetration, and a foul called on Cleaves. Players on the floor right now as you look at the Michigan State lineup. Cleaves, their All-America, has not scored so far. 0 for 2 from the field. Meanwhile, for UConn, Hamilton and Freeman, along with Vasco Moore and El Amin. It's the starting 5 for the Huskies. Billy, your thoughts on the first 10 minutes of action here?
Well, Jim, both of these clubs, as you mentioned, ranked in the top 10 in the country, both extremely athletic, and they like to push the ball down the floor. Do I need any better example?
Yeah, right
there.
On your cue.
Both of them love to push the ball down the floor. They're really capable of it, and we're seeing some of the strongest guard play that we'll see in the country from both of these basketball teams. Really deep at that position.
Freeman scores in the post.
You're talking about the team picked to win the Big Ten, the team picked to win the Big East, and they certainly are capable of it.
Off of Hudson, UConn ball. Not only that, but the 2 players that received the most consideration on the preseason All-America team, Richard Hamilton, received more votes, in fact, than any player in the country. The Big East Player of the Year a year ago from UConn, and Mateen Cleaves, last year's Big Ten Player of the Year.
The matchup, Cleaves going against El Amin, has really been interesting to watch. Now he's over on Moore.
Couple of subs in now for the Huskies. Mooring has come in along with Juan. Juan, number 34. Hamilton double team, lost control of it, and it's off the Spartans.
I thought he got fouled twice on that one, Jim, but no call made on the play. They're letting them go after each other.
So the under-8 timeout has arrived on the floor here in Storrs, Connecticut, with the Huskies leading by 3.
It knows 2 speeds. Stop and go. It just beat a series of the toughest stop-and-go driving tests in the world, and it's brand new. Go ahead. Guess. You have 4.3 seconds. Introducing Pennzoil with new Pure Base. Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
Invest at the point of maximum pessimism. Many people now view markets around the world with apprehension. Templeton understands their concerns, but we also see unprecedented opportunities. I'm Mark Mobius. We're at the forefront of researching countries undergoing economic, political, and social transition. Explore the advantages of international growth with the pioneer in global investing, Templeton Fund. We find value for your future today. Call your investment representative for 1-800-FRANKLIN.
I'm a CEO. I'm accountable to my shareholders. So when we needed a server-based network for 16,000 people, I wanted someone who'd be accountable to me. Then Dell came to see me. Dell delivered exactly what they promised, business-critical servers. As CEO, you'd kill for an original thought, for someone to come to you with a solution, not a problem. I didn't get a computer from Dell. I got a partner. Be direct.
Dell. Dell computers use Intel Pentium 2 processors. The new Saturn Coupe has been conveniently redesigned, so it's easier for your friends to get in. The world's first 3-door coupe from Saturn. Why didn't anyone think of this before?
We're back in Storrs, Connecticut. the season premiere of college basketball here on CBS. Jim Nance and Billy Packers. We begin our 18th road to the Final Four here on our way to St. Petersburg and eventually the national championship game March the 29th. We have two teams here that like to think they would be there, Tropicana Field, come late March.
I think they're both capable, Jim, and they have so much depth. They have great backcourt play, good solid rebounding on both teams. And one of the things today will be interesting is Connecticut's holding teams down to 37%. Michigan's been shooting 51%. Something's got to give there, and so far Connecticut's been able to shut them down with the exception of that explosive start that Michigan State had.
Ricky Moore had to call a timeout, couldn't inbound the ball. So the Huskies will huddle once more. Who can forget back in 1990, though, when UConn took on Clemson in the East Regional semifinals, an epic finish.
Scott Burrell on the toss, the great former pitcher, threw a perfect strike
to Tate George, and that won it. The Huskies advanced only later to be eliminated on a buzzer beater on the other side. Next time it was Duke and Christian Lake.
Right, 2 days later it goes from the perfect ending to a memory that Jim Calhoun certainly doesn't want to have to bring back.
Mooring loses control of it. Michigan State strips. Tom Izzo's team now penetrating with Cleaves.
Great play.
And well, they count it?
It's got to count.
Jim Burr.
Jim, there's where that incredible strength that Cleaves has allows him to go down on the inside. Now, he suffered 2 injuries over the summer, which I think has made him a different player than the tremendous summer physically he had the year before. Now, there you see that strength, being able to go in there on one and still get the shot off. But this young guy not being able to practice with the dedication he had the summer before really is off on a shooting, and you can see it's taken away a lot of his confidence for the rest of his game.
Made only 3 of 17 from the field on Wednesday night in the loss to Duke. Freeman fires up a 3.
Not the shot that Connecticut wants at this point in the game.
Cleaves snaps it ahead. Now he'll take the jumper. Too strong.
Good timing by Hudson.
Puts it back. He's off to a nice start. Hudson with 8.
Gives up some inches inside and basically their power forward position, Jim, but he has great timing.
Hamilton to Voskuhl. Give the assist to the All-America, and Voskuhl cashes in.
Here we see this matchup. 2 of the strongest point guards in college basketball. Elamine and Cleaves. A lot of banging out there between the 2. Klein has to come and meet the ball. See, there was Cleaves not ready to take the shot that he had that was easy.
A little uncertain.
Yeah.
Jumper made by Antonio Smith.
His former high school teammate. 2 years ago, the Big Ten's leading rebounder. Still one of the premier rebounders in the country, despite giving up size most of the time at his position.
Tough pass inside, and ball denied. So Michigan State on the steal with the lead, looking to add. And Smith again with the basket for the 3-point advantage.
Well, there you can see 2 guys used to playing basketball with each other. Smith kept those hands right up. Perfect lead pass inside by Cleaves. If you're not making the shot, you can still hand the ball off. Double screen outside. Good hedge move by Smith.
Hamilton got the 3-pointer to tie it at 25.
Little mental breakdown by Peterson there. You're guarding Hamilton. You cannot afford to let him go, even though you're trying to help out some. He's the premier scorer for Connecticut. Gonna let somebody else show that they can beat you.
Hamilton now only 2 of 8 from the field. And taken away by the Huskies. Here comes Hamilton. And a whistle. Outside, Ed Hightower says outside. Good officiating crew here today. Ed Hightower, Jim Burr, Tom Rucker.
And a smart foul, Jim, when it took place, because if he waits for one more dribble, there's the strip on the way up. Elamine, here's Hamilton coming down. A perfect time to foul the guy. If you're going to go for the steal, one more dribble, that's part of the shot.
His first personal foul, 6th on the team.
Michigan State hasn't used the zone much at all today, except on these out-of-bounds situations. They play a really strong matchup zone.
Checking back in for Connecticut, number 51.
That was the 6th team foul. The next one will be a 1-on-1 situation for the Huskies.
Look for Hamilton and Elamine against this zone, particularly cross-court passing.
Bosco wanted it for the jumper. Too strong. Granger swipes it away.
Peterson running, looking for the lob.
Bell jumper.
Charlie Bell.
27-25. Michigan State under 5 minutes to play first half.
Jim Bell really coming into his own as an all-around player. Terrific defender, was a great high school scorer, then that primarily to defense. Now his all-around game is there, and he is a outstanding rebounder for a guard, maybe as good as there is in the country.
Elamine way out there with a 3. He made one earlier in this game before you joined us. Cleves tries one of his own, and a nasty fall. Nasty fall there by Saunders.
Snapping of the head, Jim, when he came down, just went right underneath him, and I think he's going to be all right, but he took some fall there. And you can see again, Jim, one of the things Cleves on that jump shot just doesn't stay with his release. And here we'll see that tough ball and where the head snapped right back. There's that jump shot, just not on the mark for Cleves. He's got to have that to keep people honest. Cleves now 1 for 5. Oh, a tough ball there.
This is a tough kid, too. Edmund Saunders out of Waterbury, Connecticut. Sophomore has given them 8 points and 8 rebounds a game off the bench.
Been playing 20 minutes a game, Jim, and it's really difficult with Connecticut's stats so far. They haven't played the type of competition that Michigan State has, so you won't find out whether that 20 minutes is the same kind of 20 minutes you'll get as they go deeper into their schedule. He's getting up. Great to see. But that was a tough ball.
Yeah, they've played teams, Billy, like Quinnipiac, Richmond, always a tough out in the NCAA tournament, Hartford and Wagner. So there's some games there could have run up some big numbers and did run up some big numbers and got a lot of people off the bench some big minutes.
Yeah.
You can get complete basketball coverage, college coverage on CBS Sports Line. And next week, don't forget to vote in the top 25 fan poll, CBSSportsLine.com. And for America Online, a keyword CBS Sports Line.
Here's Bell now on Elamine, figuring that he's going to handle that ball a lot more. That puts Peterson on Hamilton.
Hamilton dumps it inside. Freeman cashes in to tie it at 27.
Hamilton's making some really good looks today on the inside with his passing.
8 points for Freeman, 3 assists for Hamilton.
Kelly in the game for the second time to spell Cleves.
Kelly, who had to sit out last year with a broken foot. Three-point jumper, very pure for the senior, and last holdover from the Judd Heathcote era at Michigan State.
He had 114 assists 2 years ago, so he's a young man that's had a lot of experience in a tough league, so not surprising he can come off the bench and score like that.
Elamine matches it at the other end, 30 all.
What I love about that, Jim, is that he's got great range with that jump shot and can do it without the dribble, so he kind of freezes the defender.
Kelly in and out. Hamilton had boxed out, had the position, takes the middle, gives it up to Freeman in the lane, and a whistle and a charge.
Pretty good change off that pass by Freeman. Here's the pass. Watch this catch, jump, stop, change without walking. Good move.
2:59 before halftime. 30-30.
First personal foul, 4th on the...
Do you ever just have one of those days? Well, at Farmers Insurance, everything we do is about getting things back to normal. Isn't that what insurance is supposed to do? Farmers, get you back where you belong.
was brilliant. Who misses brilliant conversations?
John knew everything. So misses knowledge.
John wrote that consolidated contract and didn't even tell us where he put it.
Now they're really consumed with grief.
If only they knew. John scanned all of his documents into the Xerox Document Center. He made them digital and put every last one of them on the company website.
I wonder what John would do in this situation.
You check your website to see that the Xerox Document Center scanned in the consolidated contract.
Yeah, I just had a thought.
Oh, there's a good place to start.
You don't think John scanned the contract into the
Xerox Document Center?
Xerox Document Center, do you?
John was smart, but he wasn't that smart.
I don't think John liked that.
Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company, Xerox.
Well, Jim, when you have a Conference Player of the Year and one with one of the smoothest strokes in college basketball in Hamilton, watch how Connecticut tries to get him open. Elamine goes. When he leaves, obviously the defense has to be aware of him. Great time to come up and set a solid screen for Hamilton to flare out to the side and hit that patented jumper. Now here we'll see this flare last year in the NCAA tournament for Hamilton. Solid screen, Bosco comes over, Hamilton flares out, takes the jumper right over the top of Carter for the three. Terrific perimeter shooter.
Carolina and UConn played for the East Regional Championship with the Tar Heels advancing to the Final Four, but Michigan State was also in that regional down in Greensboro. And they, in fact, were knocked out by Carolina in the Sweet 16. Michigan State made its way to the round of 16 with 2 wins nearby Hartford.
Nice change by Granger without walking in the inside. Bosco, 2 big screens.
What a dribbling show, though, by Elamine.
Well, just as I said, Cleves is not afraid to go inside. Neither is Elamine because of their power in their shoulders. But that was set up by terrific screening by Bosco.
Bosco over the back, though, at the other end with his second. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Tim Brando back in our studio. We'll get you caught up on all the scores and highlights, plus an update on that accident from the Army-Navy game. That's all coming up on Pennzoil at the half.
Jim, I've seen Michigan State play now against really some solid competition. Connecticut, Temple, and Duke. The Temple game, they pulled off to a big lead similar to today. Duke, they were way behind. But this is a solid basketball team, and of course, in both of those games, they played very competitively, losing that Temple game in an unusual way at the very end, and came back, and Duke just held them off.
Stripped away, Suleiman Wan with a good defensive effort.
And what Jim Calhoun's trying to do with Wan and Bosco is to get 30-some minutes a game out of the two of them. He wants 20 points. I don't think he'll get that, but I think he can get 15 points and probably 10, 12 rebounds a game out of those two, which is pretty good for a center position. Here's that zone defense now by Michigan State, matching up.
Banks at home does Freeman, leading the Huskies with 10. Elamine has 9 and a turnover at the other end.
Now what Cleves has to do there is understand who's catching the ball. You can't expect Granger to catch that ball at full speed with his hands. So Cleves has got to be a little bit more judicious as to making that pass and knowing that there's only a few guys going to catch it on the run and make the completion.
UConn 5-0 on the season. Fresh off a win against Washington in the grade 8 this week. Michigan State 4-2 with the losses to Temple and Duke. Raymond rejected but a foul call. Now the Huskies have a 24-game home court winning streak. They have 2 home courts, though. Hartford Civic Center and here at Gampbell Pavilion. Here at Gampbell, they've won 12 in a row. Goes back to January of '97, 23 months ago, when Providence beat them here.
Well, Jim, of course, we remember the last time they were here with a great roll going in #1, and the guy named Kerry Kittles came in and played what I think is probably the best individual regular season game we've ever had on CBS. He was just sensational on this very floor in the upset Villanova over #1, then Connecticut.
One more for Freeman. They had just been elected. This is February of 1995. UConn had been elected #1 rated #1 in America, then went out and beat Georgetown on the road on a Monday night to return home, play a home court game as the #1 team in the country for the first time. We were here, and they lost to Villanova. So this is the second time they've ever played at home, ranked #1 in the country.
At that time, their women were #1 as well, just as they are now, too. So, obviously, great tradition here at this school.
Kelly Bell, short, tipped out of bounds, and it's UConn ball. Yes, the UConn women's team is ranked #1 right now as well. No other school ever has had both the men's and women's program ranked #1 in the same week, except for UConn. Happening this week for the second time. Tom Izzo, 4th year, Big Ten Coach of the Year a year ago. In fact, the Associated Press National Coach of the Year as well.
He's right now wondering where is he going to get some scoring. They've kind of gotten away from trying to get the ball down inside, and I think that's got to be their answer for a while. They're counting too much on the perimeter.
El Amin, he feels it. You can see it way out there. UConn on an 11-2 run, fueled by El Amin's outside shooting. It's their largest lead, a lead of 6. 22nd timeout called by Michigan State, which enjoyed an early 9-point lead. Billy, the rule changes this year.
Well, not many, obviously, but the held ball goes to the defensive team. We haven't seen this so far in this ball game, but it's been very prevalent in the games that I've watched so far this year. And that inside position on the free throw line, moving it up 10 inches, kind of helps away from that banging and pushing down underneath the basket on a free throw.
The impetus to change this rule right here, the tie-up situation, was last year's game in the semifinals, national semifinals, Stanford and Kentucky. Stanford forced the tie-up, but the arrow belonged to the Wildcats. Stanford would have had the ball 1 down in overtime with 6 seconds to go, had the rule been what it is right now.
Well, you can see how comfortable Tubby Smith was with the call, knowing that he had the arrow. This year, obviously, that would not be the case. Stanford would have been shooting for the win.
Klein, a three-pointer, rattles out. And Freeman hauls it in. Tom Izzo, by the way, got burned on that call a few times in the Temple game. He's not really in favor of it. He'd like to see, in a tie-up, just the old jump ball brought back.
Well, Jim, I think one of the things, there's that jump shot without any bounce at all.
Juan put back. Saved, out of bounds, on the line first. Hamilton was on the line, Michigan State ball.
But Jim, in that particular game, and it was kind of funny, I talked to the people at Michigan State after that Temple game and said, you know, what's going to happen here now? The coaches are going to teach the double team to try to get those held balls. What players have to do is one of two things. Get very strong with the ball, using their elbows and upper body to break free, and also to be looking for that free man as quickly as possible to get it out of there. You can't count on the referees to protect you all the time. And if there are 2 men double teaming you, that means there's got to be somebody open. You can initiate your break in a hurry.
Last possession of the first half. That's what the Spartans would like to think. Down 6.
Calhoun packing back in a zone, with the exception of Cleves being played tight man-to-man out front.
Cleves.
Now they pick up everybody man-to-man. Nice move by Jim Calhoun.
Smith with 4 to Peterson. Got the roll and bounce.
There's good hands underneath.
So Peterson's basket makes it a 4-point game at halftime. El Amin with 12 to lead the way for the Huskies, along with 4 assists. Jim Calhoun's team's in front. So, the end of the first half with the score, Connecticut 38, Michigan State 34. Tim Brando will be along with Pennzoil at the half right after this message and a word from your local station.
It knows 2 speeds. Stop and go. It just beat a series of the toughest stop-and-go driving tests in the world, and it's brand new. Go ahead. Guess. You have 4.3 seconds. Introducing Pennzoil with new Pure Base. Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
CBS Sportsline's got you covered. For the breaking news, scores, and stats, fire up the best sports coverage on the net. CBS.Sportsline.com. Discover the secrets of martial law at CBS.com.
Eddie Bauer Explorers, Explorer Limiteds, XLTs, and Sports. Everybody loves America's favorite sport utility. And now there's a new special value Explorer. Introducing the 1999 Explorer XLS. The XLS is $1,000 less than a comparably equipped 98 Explorer. Plus, it's got power windows and locks, fog lamps, CD, and more. Now get low 1.9 financing on this and every Explorer. Explorer XLS. Drive one today at your local Ford store.
Why do you always do better on menswear at Burlington Coat Factory?
They have a great selection of suits here. It's fantastic.
I can find the same suits for less money than I can at department stores. And I have a much larger selection.
Came in for one shirt, and with the money I saved, I bought 3.
I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. Every time I come here, I find what I'm looking for, and they look great.
I get my money's worth at Burlington Coat Factory.
Burlington Coat Factory, we're more than great coats.
They were looking for a new way, a faster way, a better way. They were pioneers. And now, Vario brings that pioneering spirit to the new world of business with a new, faster, better way to get on the net. Vario, in partnership with Rhythms, introduces DSL, dedicated high-performance internet access starting at $55 a month. Easily installed, application-rich. DSL, one more way Vario brings you the new world. Vario, the new world of business.
Wake up, Chicago, to News 2 Chicago's Marianne Childers and Jay Levine.
At the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Brando, and welcome to Pennzoil at the Half. Let's get you caught up on the college basketball scoreboard. Career game number 999 for the General. And Bobby Knight talking to Lou Recker as the Hoosiers battle Temple. It's always difficult. It's like a root canal anytime you play the Owls. Recker spots up, finds the 3. With less than 30 seconds left in the game, Temple's Lamont Barnes. Watch this action. There's a stat sheet stuffer in the paint, as Clark Kellogg would call it. It's 62-60. Now, in the game's closing seconds, A.J. Guyton, who had had a horrible shooting day, hits the three-pointer, 63-62. All Pepe Sanchez can do is run the court and throw it up. Oh, the iron unkind. And Temple loses its 3rd straight game, the final 63-62. St. John's and B.C. in a Big East tilt. Mike Jarvis, a native of Cambridge, trying to bribe the referee with a stick of gum. Ron Artest stops the BC break. Tyrone Grant ends up with the ball. Thank you. Now, Ron Artest will pick the pocket of Dwayne Pena and then gets ahead of the pack for the slam. St. John's closed the half with a 17-2 run, and then Colin Charles will find Eric Barkley. Ooh, a little kiss. And St. John's 74-55 over Boston College. UAB 87-72. UAB returns to its roots, taking on Western Kentucky in a very big game for them. It's not a sleeper, folks. The Blazers jump out quickly. Eric Holmes nails the three-pointer. That makes it 27-18. Fred Williams then extends UAB's lead. Watch this. An emphatic dunk. And the Blazers continue with the offensive fireworks as Torrey Ward completes an alley-oop. And UAB goes on to win it 87-72. Hilltoppers had won their last 2 after an 0-4 start. Penn State and Villanova 70-53. We take you to the Brian Jordan Center for this game. Villanova's John Celestin would give the Wildcats an early lead with this reverse lay-in. Late in the first half, watch as Penn State's Joe Crispin misses the layup, but it's Calvin Booth that follows with a resounding dunk. And the Nittany Lions lead by 4 at halftime. Nittany Lions continue to turn defense into offense. Titus Ivory. How sweet is this? The steal, the sprint, and the slam. And Penn State goes on to win it. Penn State's first win in 7 tries versus Villanova. Elsewhere, Georgia Tech trying to get it done without Deion Glover, 74-72 over Appalachian State in OT. Dayton and Northwestern, 61-57, a matchup of 3-1 teams. Kevin O'Neill's Northwestern team starts 3 freshmen this year. And Bradley against the Fighting Illini, 53-48. A game being contested in Chicago today. Remember, you can get all the information on your favorite team along with complete basketball coverage on CBS Sportsline. Plus, starting next week, you can cast your vote in the top 25 fan poll. Just log on to cbs.sportsline.com and on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline. Pennzoil at the Half will continue right after this.
taught in a classroom. You won't find them in any textbook. And with Fixodent's long-lasting hold, you'll be ready, no matter where the lesson takes you. For long-lasting hold, Fixodent, and forget it.
For nearly 150 years, we have been a place of discovery and promise. We are proud of this tradition. It is a spirit that flows through each of us. Our students learn to think and to do. Knowledge passed from one to another. Research that creates solutions. We reach out. We make a difference.
We succeed because of our work ethic, our intelligence, our faith. Persistence in the face of adversity makes us stronger. We succeed because of our passion, our heart. For 20 years, the Big East Conference has prepared our student athletes to meet the challenges they will face in the new millennium. That is success.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome back to Pennzoil at the Half with the score in Connecticut. UConn leading Michigan State. Khalid Al-Amin, by the way, 12 points, a dozen in the game. 38-34 the lead for UConn. The other game on CBS that's taking place includes the defending national champion Wildcats. They're tied at 31. Tubby Smith, come and get that championship ring from a year ago. Now you got to refocus, and Vernon Jennings is focused, hitting the baseline jumper. It's 21-13 for Leonard Hamilton, the old assistant to Joe B. Hall at Kentucky when they won it in '78. Saul Smith nails a three. Then Miami's Tim James on the post, locks up and puts it in. A turnaround jumper gives them a three-point lead at that stage, and it's now a 31-31 game at the half. Now let's take a look at the college football scoreboard. Cade McNown is up to 385 yards passing, but again, UCLA's defense is being hammered by Edgerrin James, 230 yards rushing, a couple of touchdowns for him in this game. Kansas State and Texas A&M, 0-0 in the Big 12 championship. BYU and Air Force, Blaine Morgan comes in and makes it a big day for the Fighting Falcons in Fisher DeBerry, 20-13 the final. Army-Navy. The Middies had the lead early. As they oftentimes do, they just can't finish. Paratrooper can. However, it's Ty Amy's 70-yard run that's the big blow. They would add the courtesy field goal to close out the game and win it by a final score of 34-30 in the 99th meeting between these two. Obviously, the game was marred by the tragic accident that took place at Veterans Stadium. With more on that, here's our Mike Mayock.
Thanks very much, Tim. 34-30 Army in a wild and crazy offensive football game. Right after the game, I had an opportunity to speak with both head coaches.
You know, I just want to pass along our thoughts and prayers for the people that were injured there, the cadets. We feel for them, and we're going to get them a game ball for what the heck happened to them out there.
Hey, Coach, that was well said, and we appreciate that. Along those same lines, I was very impressed with the way your kids, after that incident, came back with just as much intensity.
Well, we brought them together, and we said, we're down to 8:06 there, 6:08 and a game left, and I said we got to focus in and just play unbelievably intense football here, and I thought that was a great drive by our offense to eat up the clock and take it down to the last few seconds there.
Coach, that was a wonderful display of emotional football. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mike.
I knew that they were hurting, just like all of us. And you know, when you end up on the short end of the stick and you end up just a little bit down, you know, that's tough. And you know, I just was just very proud of the way our young men fought back and fought to win the football game.
Well, late in the fourth quarter, Army scored a touchdown to go up by a score of 31-30, and a group of their cadets in the first row here at Veterans Stadium were cheering and leaning heavily into the restraining barrier. The barrier broke, and several of the cadets went head first into the hard turf here at Veterans Stadium. Now, my latest report is that there are 9 students that ended up going to Thomas Jefferson Hospital. 4 are from Army, 5 from their prep school located in northern New Jersey. And that's the update from here in Veterans Stadium.
All right, Mike, thank you very much, and thanks for watching. Coming up, the second half of Michigan State at UConn. The tradition of Army-Navy lives on, and as we take you to break, the Navy alma mater.
They go to work early, come home late, and rarely get weekends off. Their job can be lonely, repetitive, and incredibly stressful. And sometimes they don't even get a paycheck. Yet millions of people would gladly trade places with them. Wouldn't you?
Monday, after Cosby and the King of Queens.
Did you hold the elevator?
Why is Raymond hanging out at his brother's new place? Because it's the swingin'est bachelor pad ever.
You haven't actually gone out with any of these women, have you? And if you have, please talk slow.
Then it's Becker on Blind Dates.
There's a reason they named the blind date after a disabling condition.
Becker on a blind date.
I've seen Titanic 53 times. I feel like I am actually on that ship.
Me too.
A brand new Becker, all part of CBS Monday.
The address is CBS.
Welcome home.
Blockbuster has so many 5-evening new releases. Ooh. Ooh. Sometimes it's hard to choose one. Luckily, now at Blockbuster, when you rent one 5-evening new release, you get a second one free. Ooh. Just look for the blue sticker. Now you can get both movies you want. Ooh. Rent one, get one free, and go home happy.
When you open the door to your Ford store, you find what's new and improved. The 99 Windstar Ranger and F-Series, redesigned with dramatic new looks, more power, more safety features, and this Ford exclusive. 4 doors, available on Windstar and Ranger, standard on every F-Series Super Cab. The Ford 4 doors, more doors than any other manufacturer. Open one up today. Better yet, open all 4. Now get 1-9 financing or $1,000 cash on Ranger. Visit your local Ford store today.
Here's to you. Thanks for making News 2 Chicago your choice for news. We are back on campus at UConn. 10,027 on hand as number 1 UConn leads number 9 Michigan State. Jim Nance, Billy Packer. Billy, you've had a chance to kind of talk a little bit about the components of the Final Four this year.
Well, Jim, talking about the Final Four chemistry, some of the things I think are really necessary. Solid guard play. We're seeing that from both of these two teams today. Ability to neutralize on the boards. Both of these clubs can do that. Defend and shoot the 3 well. We see both of these teams able to do that. A coach and a team that gets in sync, and that's something we won't see until March. Now, some things I think that are overrated to get to the Final Four are the need for a dominant center. It's been a long time since the Patrick Ewings, the Kareem Jabbars took teams to Final Fours. Late season momentum, that obviously can be thrown out the window. And of course, that mature seniors. You know, we see as many clubs with young kids that make the move as we do with older kids. Here's some of the teams that I think have those ingredients. The best of the West. And we'll see tomorrow, Stanford, Maryland. That ought to be interesting. The guys from the heartland. Michigan State, one of those clubs right there that I think could be there at the end. In the East, Connecticut, a team we've got right here, Cincinnati, Syracuse, and Temple. And probably the beast of them all, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Maryland. That South has really got some that you see having the ingredients to be Final Four type clubs.
And it's already, though, been such a wild start to the year with Ohio beating Syracuse last night. Florida Atlantic winning at Oklahoma State during the week. And it's just been some bizarre happenings on the court early in the season.
You see so many teams capable of win. That's the first time in 23 years Syracuse won't be in the finals of the Carrier Classic. Cleves still having trouble from the outside.
El-Amin spins free from Smith. Dishes. And Freeman with 2 more.
Smart play by Freeman to use that rim to go to the other side, take away the defenders.
Cleves penetrating.
Jim, Cleves right now is 9 for 41 in the last 4 games. He is really losing a lot of confidence on the offensive end.
Well, look at the Charles Schwab halftime stats. 3-point shooting. UConn 4 out of 11 thanks to El-Amin making 3 from behind the arc. 3 out of 6.
Now, Michigan State shot 50% as a team in that first half. A lot of that's attributable to the great start they got off to, but Cleves is a guy that's got to pick it up offensively with a shot. 5 seconds.
Yep, got him.
Nobody coming to the ball.
Talking about Cleves' shooting troubles over the last 4 games. He's 1 for 7 in this one.
Hamilton at 2 for 8, so the 2 All-American candidates having a rough go from the outside.
Push off away from the ball. Called on UConn's Ricky Moore, his second. Jim Calhoun, 4-time Big East Coach of the Year. He's taken the Huskies program to 3 Elite Eights.
Well, the only thing missing in his outstanding career, Jim, is that Final Four appearance in national championship. He's the only coach in the history of the college game to win 250 games at one school and over 200 at 2 schools. He at Northeastern, he had 200 wins, and here he's at over 250. He's actually with a 250. Only guy in the history of the game. That's amazing.
They called that last whistle at this end on Freeman, his second, not on Moore. Hamilton steps in for the jumper. Yes.
Soft, smooth shot.
UConn with its largest lead of the day, 10-point lead for the Huskies.
Jim, what I think Michigan State has got to do to get back in this game is to start going down inside a little more. Hudson and Smith have not touched the ball in the low post since the early going.
22nd timeout called by Michigan State. You know, a rarity. Well, first, Billy, tonight on CBS, you've heard about it and you've read about it, but you've got to see it to believe it. Martial arts superstar Sammo Hung kicking the fun back into Saturday nights. Don't miss martial law tonight on CBS. To come into this game and all 10 starters on the floor, returning starters from a year ago. You seldom see that.
And still young clubs. You know, they're starters, but primarily were freshmen and sophomore starters a year ago.
Line with a 3.
Nice step out. But again, Michigan State staying strictly on the perimeter. I think they've got to go down inside, get something, and get to the foul line some.
Amin in trouble, tie up. And that will give Michigan State the ball because of the new rule.
There's the tie up, and they don't lose the arrow. El-Amin, though, showing how strong he is to go on that floor and hang on to possession. I thought it was a walk. Izzo will take it. Shrugs his shoulders. Let's see if he designs something to go down inside a little bit. Good overplay, Moore. There it is. Down inside. That's where they need to go.
Hudson. Nice turnaround move.
Nice move by Izzo to say, hey, let's show we can do something else other than just shoot jumpers from the outside.
Hudson 5 for 5 from the field with 10 points. El-Amin colliding. Let's review again the top 10, Billy. UConn coming in ranked number 1.
One of the games I really want to see, and that'll be tomorrow, Stanford, Maryland. And the reason I want to see that, every coach in America is just going crazy over what they've seen of Maryland so far. But I'm anxious to see a power team play against that incredible quickness that Maryland has. I think that's the quickest college basketball team I've seen of overall quickness and long arms that I've seen in college basketball in a long, long time, speaking of the University of Maryland. But what happens if they're forced to play a half-court game against a team that you know likes to bang like Stanford?
So what do you think will give?
I think the home court probably helps Maryland a little bit there, but you know, we're seeing so many great matchups, Jim, in early season college play that these coaches are finding out, like a Gary Williams will tomorrow in that game. What will he do against the power team, and how will he make adjustments?
1 of 2 by El Amin after Hudson picked up his 3rd foul.
They are going down inside now. Very good move for Michigan State.
Hudson wants it back, backing in on Freeman. Freeman called for the hold. His 3rd.
What happens, teams get into a pattern. Players, because they can get the outside shot, forget about the inside game. And it really cost Michigan State. They didn't get onto the line hardly at all in the first half.
Only one time.
Right, only shot 1 free throw.
Cleves missed it. Saunders back in, Billy, which was good to see after that fall in the first half.
He walked off like he was hurting, and there was a foul, no call whatsoever. Izzo goes crazy on the sidelines, is warned to sit down, but there was no question with a foul on the play. Love this matchup, Cleves and El Amin. Bell Hamilton's not bad either.
Now El Amin over Bell.
Jimmy can take it all the way to the basket. He can shoot the standstill jumper from range, and then he's got that intermediate shot.
Cleves
can't get it to fall. He can't believe it.
Foul on Michigan State, pushing off.
That was excellent penetration by Cleves, but he doesn't get it. Now watch this. Here's the intermediate game that El Amin has. Elevating inside 12, 15 feet. Tough man to guard. Big East MVP tournament winner last year. Scored 92 points in these 4 NCAA tournament games. Very explosive.
Second on the team. Checking back in for Connecticut, number 23, Albert Mooring.
So Albert Mooring has come in for El Amin. Give him a breather. El Amin having such a good afternoon here with 15.
El Amin had 4 fouls in their last ball game with almost 15, 16 minutes to go and had to sit most of the time. But you can see Jim Calhoun has to be very happy with his performance today.
That is the 4th on Andre Hudson.
That really hurts.
So bring in Granger.
Because Granger, although he can take his place, his size inside, Hudson's a guy that can do a lot better job on the offensive end of the floor in the low post moves.
43, A.J. Granger.
There's that zone again, matching up on the out-of-bounds situation. You can see that Izzo really doesn't want to use that zone against this great perimeter shooting of Hamilton and El Amin, so he's basically stayed man-to-man the whole way. Good cut, good pass.
Look pass, Bosco can't finish it. Up ahead, Klein waiting for 2. Beautiful pass. Good concentration by Klein, too, in that over-the-shoulder catch, knowing that the defenders were right there with him. Mooring showed us a good stroke yesterday in practice. He hasn't gotten one off here in the game so far. 8 on the shot clock. Inside, Bosco. No whistle.
How about that? 2 plays exactly the same with no call on the low block charge.
Bangs it home for a 6-point lead. Cleves stripped away by Hamilton, who slips. Advantage Michigan State. Klein steps in short.
Just couldn't get the good follow through on that jump shot. Tough break for Hamilton, who had made a nice steal. Hurt himself coming down.
Tom Izzo gets an explanation. His team has possession, down 6.
But Mom, I don't want to take him with me. You don't know, Mom. Last time, he got stuck in the tree. It was almost on TV.
Sometimes moms need a little help getting kids to do the right thing.
Tickets, too?
Fortunately, there's Sunny Delight. Kids love that great Sunny D taste. You love the vitamins.
Let's go. Come on, Shorty.
Mr. Shorty to you.
Yeah. Reach for the good stuff. Reach for the sun. Sunny Delight.
'Tis the season to save at Sears Holiday Travel Tire Sale, where select Michelin, Bridgestone, Goodyear, and Pirelli tires are on sale, like the Goodyear Weather Handler tire, now starting at an unbelievably low $19.99, including a 65,000-mile limited tread wear warranty. No matter what you drive, we have the tire you want at the price you want. But hurry, this sale ends soon. Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
You are my sunshine.
Go for it, Ben.
Chevy Blazer. A little security in an insecure world.
Dad, can we body surf? Wow, can we?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Chevy Blazer, like a rock.
Everybody help carry something. I'll race you to the beach. You're not gonna beat me.
Hey, don't go in the water.
Okay, here's our plan to help businesses handle the holiday rush with priority mail. We'll add extra planes. That should help a lot. We'll add extra trucks. That should help a lot too. We'll add extra people. A lot more help than any other shipper. But priority mail doesn't cost a lot. Just $3. So, what's your priority?
Now you can watch all the games of the first 3 rounds in their entirety as DirecTV supplements CBS's coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
1979 NCAA championship game. Michigan State collided with unbeaten Indiana State. A matchup featuring 2 of the greatest players ever to play the game, Irvin Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. In the end, Johnson and the Spartans, too much, as they cruised to a 75-64 victory behind Magic's 24 points, 7 rebounds. This season, the 20-year anniversary. Blocked by Boring. Boring at the other end.
I said he was impressive yesterday. There he goes back-to-back. Defensive play and then an offensive play.
Loose ball to Peterson.
Kept alive by Bell, that outstanding rebounding guard for Michigan State.
Peterson came in and gave him 24 against Duke on Wednesday. Roshmel Jones to Bosco.
Good hands. Hey, both of these teams really pushed the ball up the floor well. No foul called.
Granger misses the chippy.
You don't get a chance to get a breath.
Mooring with the bounce off the side of the rim. And how about this tempo now, Billy?
They just keep coming right at you. And they did that with Elamine and Hamilton ready to come into the game. So it shows they've got quality depth on this Connecticut club.
Timeout, Michigan State. Monday on CBS, Raymond's brother just moved into a swinging bachelor pad, and guess who was green with envy? Ray Romano stars in an all-new episode of Monday night's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond, Monday on CBS.
Jim, you were talking about Magic Johnson and showing him back in '79 with that incredible run that Judd Heathcote's club had. You know, you go back through the Michigan State book, and you see that they have only had 1 player in their history have a triple-double. Magic had 8 of them. The last one he had was in the semifinals against Penn, a 29-10-10 game. But I certainly think in the time that I've covered college basketball, not only was Magic physically talented, he may have been one of the smartest college basketball players that I've ever seen. I mean, he knew how to orchestrate a game when he arrived on campus. So blessed with all that skill, but really have an understanding of the game as well.
Kelly jumper. Granger working hard. On the floor, traveling.
They took the ball down with him.
The leading scorer, though, on that championship team for Michigan State, Greg Kelser, who's also, our Greg Kelser, the all-time leading rebounder in Michigan State school history.
Well, I always do this to my buddy Al McGuire, but during that ball game, he said, if I'm starting a pro team, I don't want Bird or Johnson. Greg Kelser's the guy that would be the cornerstone of my pro team. and that's not to say that Greg wasn't an outstanding player, because he was, but another one of Al's outlandish, ridiculous dominance.
Hamilton. El-Amin back up. That almost went in.
Boy, away from the ball. A knockdown foul of Granger. Granger gets up. Sanders gets up. Sanders is it's good to see, as you said, Jim. He's back from that tough ball he had in the first half. But he and Granger really went after each other away from the ball. You see it right here. Gets knocked down.
Yep.
Really should have been a foul.
They got it on Saunders.
They finally got it on Saunders. There's where 3 referees see the away from the ball action. Good call.
So down 10 with 13 minutes remaining. Granger steps out. Tipped up and in by Antonio Smith.
Antonio Smith.
Tremendous rebounder is Smith. Sets good solid screens.
Hamilton quick fire, air ball.
He's not making good decisions as to when to shoot.
Kelly in traffic, push off on El-Amin.
Here we see that shot from the outside. Smith, who is so tough to body down on the inside, gets excellent position, taps it back in. As I mentioned earlier, 2 years ago was the leading rebounder in the Big Ten, and at his height, that's quite an accomplishment.
Ricky Moore returns, as does Voskuhl. Hamilton sits, as does Anfred Klaver. Here's Michigan State playing now the #1 team in the country. There have been 2 #1s this early in the season, Duke and UConn, and they got them in back-to-back games.
Well, I would say that we'll see more than 2 #1s before this year's over.
Oh, yeah.
We will not see an undefeated team. And I'd say we'd see maybe as many as 4 or 5 #1s before this thing's over.
Tough shot, Klein, fade away or off balance.
And as Jim Calhoun said, the only time you want to be #1 in college basketball is around April the 1st. Staying with that hard-nosed man-to-man. Both teams can defend it. I'd get that ball back to El-Amin, let him handle a little bit with his jump shot.
Scoring, and they call Granger. Active shooting. Huskies, we've talked about how close they've been. Regional final last year to North Carolina. West Regional final loss to UCLA back in '95, the eventual champion. To Duke in '90, the Leitner shot, and back in '64 also.
Jim, I think of all of those, although they had a shot in each one of those to go to the Final Four, I think the year they had the best chance to go to the Final Four is when they lost to Florida.
That was down to Miami back in '94 in the Sweet 16.
Danielle Marshall's club. Danielle happens to be here today, but that was a situation where everything was falling perfectly for them. The only thing, they ran into Lon Kruger's club that just happened to beat them down the stretch.
There is a timeout on the floor.
Under 12 timeout. Lead is 10 again.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch.
If you think the Cavalier looks good, wait till you know it can go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. Chevy Cavalier. The more you know, the better it looks. Genuine Chevrolet.
The address is CBS. Welcome home!
Throughout the country, Champion Mortgage's Pay Down Your Debt program is helping thousands of homeowners replace their current monthly bills with a much lower payment.
It's the easiest, most effective way to zero your credit card balances and other monthly bills and save hundreds of dollars a month.
For years, Champion has helped homeowners find a better quality of life with the most powerful programs in lending.
Call 1-800-CHAMPION and let us show you how much our Pay Down Your Debt program can save you.
Isn't today a great day for a new beginning? When your bank says no, Champion says yes.
I needed a good pre-owned car for college. So I took my dad to someone we trusted, our local Ford store. They handpick only the best pre-owned vehicles and give them a 100-point inspection by Ford-trained technicians. That's what the Ford Quality Certified sticker means. Dad bought cars here before, and I know my Ford store will be here tomorrow to stand behind me.
Ford Quality Certified. It's the only way to buy a pre-owned vehicle. Visit your local Ford store today.
Carson's Ribs. Now available in envelopes for $10. For special Carson's Ribs $10 holiday certificates, call now. 1-800-GET-RIBS.
Want the inside scoop on the Bears? Get it with Chicago Bears Weekly. Join Tim Weigel, Hub Arkish, and special in-studio guests. The lowdown on the upcoming game. A look behind the scenes. It's like being in on the game plan.
Wow.
Chicago Bears Weekly, tonight after News 2 Chicago at 10.
News 2 Chicago. Take another look.
Billy, you spoke of Donyell Marshall sitting behind the UConn bench today. There he is.
Donyell came out 1 year early as a junior. Jim, there's an example of a guy that obviously had to take the money. They offered him, what, $45 million or so. He came out behind. Remember, Robinson from Purdue, Jason Kidd, then Grant Hill, and then Donyell Marshall. So he still picked up big bucks, but I really think that he come back for his senior year to mature 1 year extra. He would have really been a better NBA player than he is now, as now he's just starting to round around into an outstanding NBA player. But some guys just need that extra maturity.
Cleaves rejected by Ricky Moore.
Perfect timing by Moore. And each time Cleaves doesn't score, that confidence level goes down even more. He is now 1 for 9. You're talking about shooting under 20% in his last 4 games.
Peterson whistled for this one.
Now you watch defensive positioning here by Ricky Moore. It is sensational. He steps back, leaps right up in there, and times it perfectly. Ricky Moore, who had that outstanding freshman year, Jim, we expected him to explode offensively as a player. I think his all-around game has matured, but he had the great Big East tournament as a freshman, then got that injury that hurt Connecticut in the NCAA tournament.
3 years a co-captain here with Rashmel Jones. How often do you see a kid in college captain a team for 3 years, as they have done, Jones and Moore. Amin on the run.
Bosco keeps it alive. Good job by Bosco.
With the conclusion of this game, we will be selecting the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund, a tradition for over a quarter century.
Here we see against the zone again. I try to get Elamine open for the jumper against this zone. He's got the great range.
Good passing, Mooring. Oh.
Got a big chance with numbers here, does Michigan State.
Kelly pull up. Bell inside, though. Blocked from behind by Saunders. Kelly again. Peterson, left hand, in and in. I was going to say, it's going to spin out. That was down twice.
They had 4 on 2 numbers. They had to convert there. Elamine without the ball is not making himself available enough. He does it when he has the ball off the dribble. But he's got to learn how to move without that ball to get that jump shot off. He just is patient, stands still too much. Here he is moving without the ball.
Fires it, drills it, three-pointer.
See, the offense made him move without the ball that time. He has to learn to do it as well when the offense doesn't dictate it.
Peterson answers back at the other end. That's a two-point basket.
Don't you see Peterson, Jim, being there, maybe even their leading scorer before this year's over?
Could be, but at the other end, Mooring gives UConn its largest lead. Three-pointer.
His back is hurting a little bit, but he had an excellent day of practice yesterday, and he is playing as he practiced.
Checking back in for Michigan State, number 12, McKean Freeze, replacing Curtis Kelly.
Now Hamilton back. The two All-Americas on the floor are a combined 4 of 20 for the game.
Well, they're being well defended to start off with, but I think both of these guys were hurt by their summer injuries, Jim. I don't think Hamilton's anywhere near as strong as he can be, and I think in regard to Cleves, it took away an awful lot of the confidence he has with his shot between the ankle injury he had and the shoulder injury.
Here's the preseason All-America team, and Hamilton again was the top vote getter. Cleves received the second most consideration.
Not to take anything away from those 5 guys, Jim, but I can name 15 players that would be in college basketball now who have gone on to the pros that would be making up probably the first 3 teams before any of those guys would be mentioned.
At least for one day, if you were just to drop in on this game, you wouldn't know which 2 are the All-Americans,
no,
would you?
You wouldn't. It doesn't take anything away from these teams. Look, Smith pulls Elamine up by the shirt. Now he's got to get that shirt tucked back in. Referees aren't paying much attention to it. Let's see if Ed Hightower tells him to get his shirt in.
Kentucky getting a little challenge today at home. Miami within 3 in the second half. Line. Last touch by UConn, they say.
See, Jim, coming off of those screens, Cleves has got to be able to pull up and hit that jumper as he did consistently last year. He's not even looking for it now. And I'm not saying that he's lost all his confidence, but a shooter has got to be thinking shot coming off of there. He's looking to make the extra penetration, which makes him a lot easier to defend.
Well, they turn it over. Last touch by Michigan State.
Good quick hands. And even though Bell is a good leaper on the baseline, you'd have to say, why has he got the ball down there? We've known this man, Jim, to have some explosive games offensively. He's a senior now. Very capable of having a double-figure game, so it shows how deep with scores Jim Calhoun is.
He's the kind of a guy, talking about Roshmel Jones, that come tournament time, you're going to bring him off the bench, and he gets the hot hand going for a couple of weeks in March. Could be the type of player that could take him to that next step.
You're exactly right, Jim. He's the kind of guy, too, if you're scouting from the other team, you know, you would come in and say, oh, you know, you never get to him. Then all of a sudden, here comes a guy off the bench, 15 minutes, he has 12 points, and you say, you know, we never did account for his ability, but you know it's there, and Jim Calhoun knows it's there.
Freeman will shoot one more from nearby Springfield, Mass.
Jim, I think of Freeman. Reminds me when we did that ball game against Kansas here a couple of years ago. Kansas comes in riding high, powerful team. It was one of the few teams that Jim Calhoun has had in the 90s that didn't have much experience on it. Freeman played a terrific ball game that day and is now developed into a mature veteran.
Freeman with 14 to give Calhoun and company a 13-point lead.
Worth, animator, knows good, knows evil, knows that having a formidable partner is definitely good. Chevy S10, like a rock.
Why are business travelers choosing Sleep Inn? The well-lit grounds, the electronic locks, the walk-in showers, complimentary breakfast. Because it's a place that understands the needs of the business traveler. It's all those things. Plus the service.
Hey, knock it off.
Is incredible. If you're traveling on business, stay at Sleep Inn, in a class by itself.
Do you ever just have one of those days? Well, at Farmers Insurance, everything we do is about getting things back to normal. Isn't that what insurance is supposed to do? Farmers, get you back where you belong.
Travis Knight.
We hate to keep harping on it, Billy, but Cleves today, 1 of 9. This comes on the heels of 3 of 17 from the field against Duke. So 4 out of his last 26 from the field for the All-American.
Well, Jim, as we said yesterday, you know, watch him in practice. He doesn't really have the good stroke going, and he doesn't have a lot of confidence right now. And that's, you know, hard to believe. We're talking about the Big Ten Player of the Year last year, preseason All-American. But I'll tell you, you know, it shows you that fine line. He was not able to be involved with conditioning this summer. He was not able to take that time to work on the shot, which is probably one facet of his game that needs the most improvement. And now he's in this situation where he's just not hitting, and it pulls up and hits one there. Shows the championship heart he's got.
Gives Cleves 5 points for the game. Brings him within 10.
Last year he had some of those unbelievably explosive second halves. So he'd have to really come alive here to help his club.
Hamilton rejected, tried to go in.
Nothing there.
Them challenge Klein Smith. 7 minutes remaining.
And as wild as we've seen some comebacks this year, there's that little pull-up jumper that Cleves last year just made a living off of.
Coming our way.
That's about all Smith could do, is to get that ball out of there. Nobody came to help him. You can see nobody coming to help him. Smith just throwing that ball out of there, the only thing he could do, other than call a timeout to retain possession.
Replacing Andre Hudson. For Connecticut, Khaled El-Amin, Jake Bosco, and Albert
Only
Moore.
8 turnovers for the Huskies today.
Good to see Mooring back in the ball game. He was having back spasms when he went out there. Set a double screen for him down on the baseline. Nothing there. There, Hamilton goes much stronger to the basket. That looked good.
Hamilton with 9.
Kind of a lazy drive to the basket just a few seconds ago. That one much better.
Push off on UConn. Outside. Called on El-Amin. His second.
Connecticut foul number 42, Khaled El-Amin.
El-Amin and those kids that did such a great job in the Goodwill games this year. Serbiak, Elton Brand, Miller. We had them on CBS in their only loss against Puerto Rico, and you thought, well, those veteran players that were getting ready to the World Championships would feast on our college players, but the kids came through and won the gold medal.
Line with a nice baseline move.
Little intensity falling off for Connecticut right now in the defensive end.
Freeman to Bosco. What a pass.
What was so good there is Freeman kept his head up, had eye contact with Bosco the whole way when he felt the double team. How about that going left hand is Cleves.
Third foul on Bosco.
But, Jim, you love to see that good interior passing between Freeman and Bosco.
And the Michigan State, here's the CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Michigan State will go to the line for only the second time today. For complete basketball coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
Shots a little flat by Cleves.
They shoot about 17 free throws a game, and they'll exit on this trip with just 3 attempts for the day.
Well, the rest of his game, you know, he came into the game with 44 assists and just 26 turnovers. So that part of his game is there. He's given great effort on the defensive end of the floor. It all comes down to that stroke that he needs offensively to force people to play him tight so he can use that power to go around him.
First point of the day from the line for the Spartans. Down 11 with 5:35 remaining.
Ooh, there is some kind of a screen by Bosco.
Bosco on a whistle, and Cleves' shoulder.
He really got hit.
Which has been
a problem.
A real problem.
He hurt
shaken by that.
Right, he hurt it in a non-athletic situation, falling down some stairs. So he did take a whack there by Bosco.
Third foul on Peterson.
He's holding that shoulder, Jim, at an angle that does not look good. See if we can lift that right arm up over his head.
Right shoulder is definitely drooping right now.
Yep.
Bosco, a 6'11" junior from the Houston area, Katy, Texas. Roger Clemens' hometown. One and one more.
When you take in consideration superior three-point shooting, primarily by Elamine by Connecticut, and big dominance from the foul line, you wonder how Michigan's as close as they are in this ball game. Michigan State.
Michigan State led early here, 11-2, making its first 5 shots from the floor.
There's that good block out by Smith again. I guess he's all right. Dribbling that ball okay with his right arm.
Peterson
squares up on that jump shot beautifully.
Jim Burr has the call. Counts the basket.
Smith, I think. Trying to get position.
Calls it on Peterson.
Did he? Well, couldn't call it on Peterson.
Gave
he
number 13. Now they're correcting it. It's on Smith.
His third personal foul, 8th on the team.
We'll see the solid screen on Cleves as he's coming around right here. Watch what happens to him. Here he comes, Bosco at that 6'11". Bow! He is powerful. Cleves felt the brunt of that. What would you say Bosco is? 255?
At least 1 and 1 for Bosco. Having a productive day. 14 points. 6 out of 9 from the field. Calhoun wanting more production out of his center position with Bosco and on the line.
Well, he's getting up there almost by himself right now as to what the two of them have done in previous games.
Under 5 to play. 12-point deficit here for the Spartans. Good move. Antonio Smith with the bucket.
Excellent footwork.
8 points, 12 rebounds for Smith.
Both teams getting the hedge move, helping out. Right there, you see it again. Helping out the guards on those solid screens up top. Backdoor cut was available for Ricky Moore. He didn't set it up.
Over the top, Bosco, yes. The assist for Moore. Bosco with 17.
Really good look by Moore.
It ties his career high, 17. Peterson finds the man at Smith. Back to a 10-point deficit.
Smith has some hands, doesn't he, Jim, in traffic? Whether it be off the boards or catching that ball in tight, he can do it. Just trading baskets now, though, is Michigan State. Now they get you in trouble in a game like this. They've got to come with some heavy defense.
Miami beats UCLA. So it's all there for the taking if Kansas State and Tennessee can win their conference championship games today.
Illegal dribble by Alabine, gets by with it.
Alabine gets it on the baseline.
Miracle shot.
Cleaves with a three. Way off.
Jim,
it's not like they're just right on line and short or long. They're not even the right distance.
Well,
they're way off the mark.
If you could take that shot right there and break down what he's doing wrong. He's got no elbow underneath the basketball. There's Elamine. He can hit from the outside standing still. He's got the perimeter drive to the basket, and he has the medium range shot there. He is a scorer.
Fourth personal foul, team 9.
Fourth foul on Granger. How about Miami really dashing the hopes there at UCLA for the national championship?
Well, how about
game that had to be rescheduled? I mean,
how about Syracuse? Last week destroyed.
Put 66 on them.
Exactly, destroyed Miami.
So UCLA can look back at this season. I mean, as close as it can come to a national championship. Hurricane George has to reroute the game, reschedule the game.
Well, they go from Orange Bowl to what, Jim?
The Sugar Bowl. Orange Bowl today, not the kind of Orange Bowl you're thinking of, or as a bowl appearance, but no fiesta.
But you know what? Let's not talk. You know, there's 2 games yet to be finished. Kansas State and Tennessee plays tonight. So
yeah, but you got Florida State out there in Florida that would overtake them if everybody else lost today. But UConn right now looking like the #1 team in the country, up 14.
Sleek, sophisticated, stylish, and yet with an exhilarating V6. Chevy Monte Carlo lets you express that hidden part of your personality, just dying to get out.
Mr. Freeman, how are you? Tommy?
Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
Hi, we're in Miami. We've got a sink, new Pert Plus with clean conditioning. We're washing hair and we're changing minds. Excuse me, hi, excuse me, ma'am. I ask you a couple of questions. Hi, can I ask you a couple of questions about shampoo? Shampoo? Have you ever used one of those shampoo and conditioners in one? Have you ever used one of those shampoo and conditioners in one?
No.
No?
Yes. What'd you think of it?
Didn't like it. I hated them. I hated them. Kind of limp and dead. Weighs your hair down.
We're 0 for 4, my friend. Look at this. I don't know what you've heard about Pert Plus in the past, but it's totally changed. And I've got a sink right over there, and I got a sink right over there. It's reformulated Pert Plus. Here we go, ladies. All right, but this stuff, since they redid it, it's been revolutionarily, like, redesigned with water-based conditioning. You see, there's no buildup, so your hair's gonna feel clean. Tell me what it feels like.
Wow. It's wonderful, light. It feels light. It's light, and it does seem lighter.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Hey, new Pert Plus with clean conditioning. Fantastic. We're washing hair and we're changing minds. Excuse me. Excuse me.
When we were traveling cross country, we stopped at a place. They had the business channel. We started watching, and the market was going down, and we said, there are these stocks we wanted to buy, and from the road we called up.
Called Schwab because we didn't have a phone modem in the motorhome, so we couldn't trade online. Where were we?
Utah.
Utah.
We're in Utah.
On a payphone, talking to Schwab,
Trying to get...
buying the stocks. There was a feeling of exhilaration. Hey, we've done it. You've committed to it. Then we got back in the motorhome and traveled on our way.
And those purchases
have done very well.
Denver ready for a big-time battle with chief rival Kansas City.
This is going to be their Super Bowl.
Plus, the Patriots' unbelievable finishes on the NFL today.
Well, with the game clock winding down and the season on the line, Richard Hamilton propelled the UConn Huskies into the Elite 8 last March in a dramatic last-second basket. Gave them the win over Washington. Here it is. Hamilton leading UConn past Washington 75-74. They met again this week in Chicago, and the Huskies prevailed there 69-48, pouring on a 27-4 run in the second half.
Can you imagine what it felt like to be Bob Bender, Washington coach? He's done a fine job out there with that program, sitting on that bench, trying to get one of his guys get off the floor, tap the ball somewhere, and it just didn't happen. Connecticut got 4 solid tries at it before Hamilton dropped it in.
We were watching that game together.
Yep. Looked like the guys were anchored to the floor there for Washington, just could not do it.
You just kept thinking time's going to run out because you're watching the ball, not the clock, and you couldn't believe they got one more shot there at the end.
ball outside without Bell in the game.
Oh, Voskuhl goes way out to reject Cleves, and Voskuhl takes a big fall into the press bench.
And they'll call a timeout. Nice piece of officiating right there. Voskuhl really took a tumble.
Right into the scorer's table.
And we talked about 6'11", 255 pounds. Nice piece of officiating here to slow everything down. We haven't seen him surface yet. He's still down underneath that scorer's table. Looks like Saunders, who had a very bad fall in the first half, going to come in for him here. I hope he's okay.
Where do you hide a 6'11", 260-pound giant?
He's still, you know, he's laying down on the floor.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Jim Calhoun came over and kind of gave a quick okay signal, but he made some play here.
He sure did. You see him getting way up in the air, blocking his shot, really hustling over to the side, giving up his body to make the play. And there he tumbles right over. He's okay. He wants to come back in the ball game. He really gave up the body there and took a slam. It's an extremely physical team, is this Connecticut ball club. I don't know if they're as talented offensively as some of the Connecticut teams in the past, at least from a versatility standpoint, but this is as physical a team as Connecticut's put on the floor.
Tonight on CBS, beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern, early edition, followed by Martial Law and Walker, Texas Ranger. That's all coming up tonight. Talking about this being a physical team, there is also quite a physical talent practicing with the UConn Huskies these days, who will be eligible for play next year. And his name is Aju Ding.
Watched him yesterday. We showed Danielle Marshall earlier. He's got a lot of those same attributes in terms of a very smooth player, plays at 6'10", really handle the balls, got a beautiful shooting stroke. He'll be quite an addition to this program.
2:45 remaining. Huskies up 12.
And a little spread offense right here. Little four corners action. And tell me, this isn't going to be tough to match up when you put Moore, Elamine, and Hamilton out there, all three of which can go by you. Tough to defend this four corners.
Busy football doubleheader day on CBS coming your way tomorrow. In the early game, many of you will see Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots take on Jerome Bettis and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in the doubleheader game, many will see John Elway and the unbeaten Broncos battle the Chiefs. It all begins with the NFL Today tomorrow at noon Eastern. Klein back in. So Voskuhl on the bench with a left hip bruise. You saw his left hip
I'll tell you another
crash into the side of the table over there.
I'll tell you another thing, Jim. With just 2:38 to go, it's not that Michigan State can't win this game, but I think Tom Izzo ought to be thinking a little bit about putting some ice on that shoulder of Cleves. Every time you notice he's moving that shoulder, and it seems like it's still giving him a bunch of pain.
Loose ball lands in the hands of Klein. He slips. They call it traveling.
Well, that was just tough break for Klein. We saw Hamilton slip at about that same place earlier in the ball game. He tried to pull up. The floor just had either a little moisture there or just took his feet out from underneath him. You see it right here. He's going to try to come to a jump stop for the jump shot and just lose it. As I said, almost the same place Hamilton lost it earlier in the game.
Michigan State, when it lost to Temple, was leading by 9 with 2 minutes 10 seconds remaining. Here they're down 13 with 2:20 to go. Can they make a little comeback like Temple did on them? No, maybe an awful difficult assignment.
A little difference playing on the road. Temple had a great crowd.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I think that's one of the tougher places to play in the United States. Great enthusiasm there. John Chaney losing a tough one at Indiana today, but John, one of the first coaches to say, I'm going to use November and December, play all the best teams I can play to get my club ready. Absorbed some losses at that time, but should have a good handle on what he's capable of doing.
Moore back to the line.
And Jim, on that philosophy, advancing way down to when that committee meets on that final Sunday of selection, they always talk about that difficulty of your schedule. So some of those losses really don't hurt you. I tell you, a 1-point loss at Indiana in early December will not hurt you come selection time in March.
Talking about tough schedule, UConn this week will play at UMass, fierce rivalry there, and then play at Pittsburgh in a conference game next Saturday.
Well, Jim, I'll tell you a game that you'll want to watch if you get a chance to see it, and that is UConn going back out to Stanford. Remember what happened last year? Stanford came in here, obviously highly ranked, charged up, came all the way across the country outside of the conference schedule, got blown out. I wonder what happens when they get on out there to Maples Pavilion. Connecticut will have the tables turn a little bit. Nice anticipation.
Ball almost stolen by Doug Davis.
It's a solid performance by Connecticut. Exactly what Jim Calhoun would have liked to have seen from his ball club.
So they sit Cleves and Antonio Smith. Cleves out with a 2 for 15 performance today.
And he needs some ice on that shoulder.
Smith 10 points, 12 rebounds.
Here again, spreading it out. It'd be tough for Klein to stay with Hamilton. Now, what he ought to try to do is get within 5 feet, get the 5-second call. Not try to steal the ball, just try to get the call.
Davis with the body pump, his first. The one thing we were talking about, Cleves, he was recruited out of high school. He was quarterback up in Flint. In Florida State, and Bobby Bowden wanted to come down there and be a two-sport star like Charlie Ward. And we were talking earlier about who possibly could be kind of back in pitting the outcome of these two games tonight, SEC and the Big 12 final. Florida State's next in line, no doubt. Not Florida, Florida State.
Well, I think Cleves probably was better basketball than football. Charlie was probably better football than basketball.
1:27 to go to clean this one up. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Dad.
You can't do this with Caravan.
Thanks.
You can't do this with Voyager.
Thanks, Pop.
A little help? The Chevy Venture is available with a remote control sliding side door. So you can get more done and have more fun.
Now get the OnStar system and installation at no extra charge, a $1,300 value when you sign up for a year of service.
Chevy Venture. Let's go.
Benjamin Franklin helped forge our nation using his wits and a good dose of common sense. A lot has changed in 200 years, but there's still no substitute for common sense. That's why Franklin offers a tax-free income fund for practically every state. And in some, that can mean double and triple tax-free income. Because after all, when it comes to taxes, a penny saved is still a penny earned.
Ask your investment representative to help you choose the fund that's right for you, or call 1-800-FRANKLIN.
I'm a CEO. I'm an engineer.
I'm a student.
We needed a server-based network, powerful workstation.
A notebook with DVD.
For 16,000 people. But what I wanted...
What I needed.
I couldn't find. Then Dell came to see me. So I called Dell.
I went to Dell on the internet.
And they built it. And they built it.
Just for me.
Just for us.
And amazingly enough...
This direct way actually costs less.
Actually costs less.
That's genius.
Be direct. Dell. Dell computers use Intel Pentium 2 processors.
Have you met television's unlikeliest leading man?
My stomach. Do you ever work out?
Yeah. The #1 new drama, Martial Law, CBS tonight.
CBS sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by the new Chevy Silverado, Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil. And by Dell. Be direct, Dell.
Back for the final 87 seconds with Ricky Moore at the line to shoot two. UConn has outscored Michigan State by 15 at the line, leads by 15. Make it 16.
Really a fine leader here in Ricky Moore. He has gone from point guard to a two guard, from a scorer to a guy, and there's Granger getting in the lane too soon. Doesn't make any difference, but Moore gives a solid job defensively. Shows great leadership for this basketball team.
Entering the line after Connecticut, number 31, TJ Harrison.
And as shown here, the great appreciation by his teammates, Jim Calhoun, and the fans. Solid player.
Moore with 7 points, 4 assists. Kelly stolen away. Hamilton has El Amin ahead, but he wants it all to himself. There you go. Yes, take a bow. Why not? First time UConn men's team wins a game at home, ranked #1 in the nation. 5 players in double figures for the Huskies today. Put back by Kelly.
Tom Izzo saying to his club, just play solid.
22nd timeout, Connecticut.
22nd timeout. All right, let's talk about Chevrolet players of the game. Morris Peterson, Michigan State, made 7 out of 8 from the field, and Khalid El Amin from UConn.
Well, he actually established the game, Jim, with those 3-pointers from the outside in that first half and brought Connecticut back into the game when they were down early and really set the pace for this second half. Peterson once again showing that this guy's going to be a solid scorer in the Big Ten. El Amin with 4 3-pointers today, most of those with that patented no dribble, just straight up and jumping from their range. Tough to guard.
DJ Harrison in for the Huskies. Mooring. We had back spasms earlier in this half. Final 30 seconds to go here.
Just nothing there. Now, if you're Michigan State, you have to go back home, get yourself reassembled, decide where those weak points are. Don't get down in your confidence. Get ready to roll. They're going to Hawaii. Not the strongest competition that they've faced so far out there, so they ought to have an opportunity to get healthy and get confident. Tom Izzo does not want a foul here. He just wants his guys to play solid, let the clock run out.
Ladies and gentlemen, our final score is Connecticut 82, Michigan State 68.
So for Billy Packer, Jim Nance saying so long from Gampbell Pavilion, where #1 UConn has defeated Michigan State 82-68. Let's go back to New York and our man Tim Brando.
Without the right insurance, you can get hurt, caught off guard. You need the cavalry. That's me.